Well, good morning, councillors. Good morning, staff. Good morning, residents from Blackwater who are here today, and welcome. We're having our council meeting today on the 22nd of July here in Blackwater. So we're very pleased to be in beautiful Blackwater today. Just moving on to start our meeting today, just a record of who's present this morning, if you're right with that. And also any apologies and leave of absence. Councillor Hindmarsh is requested a leave of absence last meeting for this meeting. So, and I think that Councillor Follott is on her way here this morning. So we'll wait for her to arrive and welcome her then. Moving on to item 3, acknowledgement of country. We wish to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land on which we work and live and recognise their continuing connection to land, water and community. We pay our respects to elders past and present. And I'm very excited to say this morning as we move into our opening prayer with item number 4 on our agenda, and very happy to welcome Father Kingsley here this morning from the Catholic Church, Mary Immaculate Church here in Blackwater. So thank you very much for joining us, Father, and hand over to you now for our opening prayer. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. The Mayor, Councillors, Chief Executive Officer, and members of the Central Highlands Regional Council, I am very privileged to be here this morning. Thank you for inviting me, and I'm very humbled. I would wish to introduce some of my friends who are here with me. I came with Dylan and Noah, who are seminarians, prospective priests from Holy Spirit Seminary in Banyo in Brisbane. I felt it would be good to be here with them to join me on this very auspicious and very special occasion of joining your meeting and then being part of the prayers. I also came with Janelle. Janelle is a member of our parish building committee. After the prayers, we have an invitation for the council. So let us pray. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, amen.
Amen.
Lord Jesus, we gather today seeking your guidance, wisdom, and clarity. Bless the mayor, bless this council, bless Central Highlands, bless our community of Blackwater, and all who serve it. Help us to listen well, speak with purpose, and work together with respect and unity. May our decisions today reflect fairness, compassion, and the well-being of all. Be with us in every discussion and every choice. We make our prayers through Christ our Lord. Amen. And may Almighty God bless you in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Thank you. So please, can I please invite Janelle for our invitation for the council, please?
Good morning. Thank you for having us today. We're just making an invitation to attend our 70s and 80s Music Bingo fundraiser. On behalf of the Mary Immaculate Catholic Parish, Blackwater, I would like to warmly invite the Mayor, Councillors, Chief Executive Officer and members of the Central Highlands Regional Council to attend our 70s and 80s Music Bingo fundraiser. Following the devastating fire that destroyed our beloved church earlier this year, our parish community has come together with determination and hope to raise funds for items that are not covered by insurance and to support the rebuilding of our church community. We would be honoured if you could join us for an evening of music, fun and community spirit. Tickets are $30 per person, which includes a music bingo card, a meal and dessert, and a lucky door prize ticket. Additional bingo cards will be available for purchase on the night, along with raffles and other fundraising activities. FPOS facilities will also be available. Your attendance would mean a great deal to our parish community and would demonstrate your support as we continue to rebuild after this significant loss. Please find our event flyer attached. We would be grateful if you could RSVP at your earliest. We sincerely hope you are able to join us for what promises to be a wonderful evening. On behalf of Father Kingsley, we'd love to see you there. Thank you so much for listening to us today.
Date and time.
Thank you so much, Janelle. Thank you very much, Father Kingsley. Thank you for the beautiful opening prayer, excuse me. And thank you for that lovely invitation. I also want to welcome Noah and Daniel. Dylan, sorry, Dylan. Thank you very much for coming along and all the very best as you progress through the seminary. And it's lovely to have you here today. Thank you. And all I can say is it was absolutely devastating when coming down and meeting with you when the church was burnt down. It was an enormous loss for not just for the parish, but it was felt across Blackwater community and the broader region. And thank you very much for your beautiful invitation and words of, coming together around having a fundraiser that's bringing people together to, with love and joy, because it really does prove that while we've lost the physical building of the church remains strong and resilient in the spirit and heart of the parish members of Mary Immaculate, so Catholic Church. So thank you very much. We're excited to be invited to the fundraiser, and you will hear from us to RSVP for sure. Thank you very much. All the best.
Sorry, just one question. Sorry.
Councillor Wilkins.
Sorry, just one question. What date is that, please? 5th of September. Thank you so much.
5th of September. Thank you very much, Janelle. Thank you, Father. Thank you, Dylan and Noah. Okay. Moving on now, councillors, to item number 5, which is confirmation of previous minutes. Councillor Donaldson.
Just to note that on page 7, the present councillors have seemed to miss my name.
Oh, okie dokie. We'll just we'll go through one by one, if that's all right.
Okay.
Thank you. And also just to recognise that Councillor Follott has also joined us, so thank you very much. Councillor Donaldson, the 2 sets of minutes. One is the General Council meeting on the 17th of June. If we want to, we'll adopt those and then we'll do our amendments if that's all right. So the minutes for the General Council meeting, 17th of June 2026. Can I have a mover and seconder, please? Mover, Councillor Burns. Seconder, Councillor Newman. All those in favour? Motion carried. Thank you. All minutes are passed. And minutes for our special budget meeting on the 17th of June 2026. Can I have a mover? Councillor Donaldson, and seconder, Councillor Wilkins. All those in favour? Minutes carried. Thank you. Business arising out of the minutes. Just to over to you now, Councillor Donaldson.
On page 7, in the present councillors, this seems my name has been missed out. That's
Okay.
all. Nothing major.
Yes, you're not there, and you're not an apology either. Okay, thank you very much. So, in the minutes for the General Council meeting Wednesday, the 17th of June 2026, just to ensure that Councillor Donaldson is recorded as present at that meeting. Councillors, any other business arising from the minutes? Director Governance?
Close enough, Madam Mayor. Thank you, Director Corporate Services.
Corporate Services, sorry.
Through you, Madam Mayor, given that we've resolved to confirm the minutes from the General Council meeting, and it looks like there needs to be an amendment
Yes.
or a correction,
Yep.
if we could perhaps have a motion to correct the minutes to add Councillor Donson's name and vote on that one, and then we can action that for you.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. So there was no other amendments or changes, was there? Okie dokie. So the amendment to those minutes to add Councillor Donaldson's name to who's present. So can I have a mover, please, for the amendment? Councillor Wilkins, and a seconder, Councillor Burns. All those in favour? Amendment carried. Thank you. Very good. So moving on to number 7 is a review of outstanding meeting actions. Councillors, if you have any questions or comments there. No, we'll move on to deputations. Mr. Acting CEO, any deputations? Nil, thank you. Merrill Minute, they're at nil. And moving on now to conflict of interest. Councillors, for any items? I think that as we go through, in fact, we have an item there to look at those changes as well for our conflict of interest. But again, councillors, as we go through, if it becomes obvious that you may have a conflict of interest, you can raise that as we go through. Thank you. Petitions to be tabled, Mr. Acting CEO.
There are nil.
Nil, thank you very much. So moving on now to section 12, decision action reports. So our first item will, wait, I was moving a bit too quickly there for you. Okay, so the item is item 12.1.1, Blackwater East Priority Development Area Revocation, request to endorse the public response report and seek ministerial approval for planning and instrument change. Councillors, can I have a mover, please? Councillor Wilkins, seconder. Councillor Newman. Thank you. So handing over now to our Manager of Planning and Land Management, Kirsten Burns, to take us through this item, please.
Lovely. Thank you, Mayor. Good morning to our councillors, and it's very exciting to be here in Blackwater today for this report. So it's a very exciting presentation seeking a resolution on executing the final steps of the Blackwater revocation process to bring Blackwater back into the CHRC planning scheme. The process has been in motion for over 10 years now, with Council and EDQ working together to progress the revocation of Blackwater and Blackwater East Priority Development Areas, or PDAs as they're referenced in the report. The draft planning instrument change as part of the revocation process simply creates a planning scheme amendment to bring the two Blackwater priority development areas, which were previously governed by the Blackwater development schemes, under the Central Highlands Regional Council Planning Scheme banner. The Blackwater development area was declared a priority development area in 2010, with Blackwater East following suit in 2013. It is noted that Council has been the decision maker for development applications lodged in these PDAs since July 2016. Important to note, there are no material changes to the version exhibited during the public notification period, which is also the same version which Council resolved on 29th of October 2025 to proceed to public notification. So today is simply a formality in the process of revocation. Whilst I'll take the report and attachments as read, I just wanted to summarise a couple of key points. Public consultation was undertaken this year between 23rd of February and the 10th of April 2026 in accordance with the approved community engagement and consultation plan. This was an extensive public consultation process, with Council going above and beyond the statutory requirements. Tailored letters were sent to property owners advising the changes, 20 information sheets regarding the zonings to make it easy for people to understand. 6 online and in-person engagement opportunities were held, involving face-to-face sessions in Blackwater, at the shopping centre, attendance at the CRG, one-on-one meetings with residents, online sessions to ensure that both residents outside the region and other community members were able to attend. One written submission was received during this period, which primarily sought clarification on how the proposed zoning may affect future development opportunities. In addition, Council received several direct inquiries from landholders and community members throughout the consultation period. These inquiries predominantly related to matters such as zoning transitions, existing land use rights, future development potential, rates implications, development application requires, and the practical operation of the Central Highlands Regional Council Planning Scheme following the revocation process. Inquiries generally reflected a desire to better understand the practical implications of the proposed changes rather than concerns about what was being proposed. Should Council resolve today to progress to adoption, a request will be submitted to the MEDQ, which is the Minister of Economic Development Queensland, seeking approval to proceed to adoption of the finalised planning instrument change and to formally progress the revocation of the Blackwater and Blackwater East priority development areas in accordance with the Act. Depending on timeframes with the Economic Development Queensland, we are hopeful that this process will be wrapped up in time with a bow for Christmas 2026. Just while we're here today, it would be remiss of me not to throw to questions first, but without taking the opportunity to acknowledge those involved in this mammoth task that we've had over the past 10 years. Unfortunately, Helen, our Coordinator of Strategic Land Use, has been instrumental in this process, but is on cares leave today, so she won't be able to join us in the room today, but she is dialing in from home. Because it's been a long-running project, many people have assisted over the years to get to this point. Some are still with us, and then others have left the organisation. So to all council staff members, current and previous, in the development and planning team, strategic land use team, public relations, property management, thank you for your time and patience throughout this process. To our consultants, Shepherd Services and Isovist, who've helped develop the PDF and electronic mapping versions to create new zoning and strategic maps to make it easy for our community to jump online and see what exactly is happening with their properties. To the officers from Economic Development Queensland, who have helped keep things moving forward from their end, despite the lengthy process that we faced. there's been plenty of other people, so apologies if we do miss any. But also to our elected members, for current and previous, this process has been going for 3 terms now. So there's been many briefing sessions, workshops. So to all of the councillors, past and present, who've been involved, I appreciate sticking through this process and asking the hard-hitting questions that you have during the time. And finally, to the Blackwater community for sticking with this process. We're so happy to be at this stage, and the number of submissions demonstrates the faith the community have had in this process and the ease of the information which has been shared. So on that note, thank you, and I'll hand back to the Mayor.
Thank you very much, Kirsten. Absolutely. Concur with all of what you've just said, but I'll hand over to Councillor Wilkins now as a mover for this motion. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Moriarty. Thank you, Kirsten. I think it was a very comprehensive report, and I'm sure the Blackwater residents are happy to see this is, finally happening, and that sort of there is a light at the end of the tunnel. I'm also really grateful that it's happened in our term, so we can take most of the credit. Not really, but just putting it out there. No, I think this is a wonderful outcome, and yes, there certainly would have been so much work gone into it, and I think it's a great outcome for the Blackwater community. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Councillor. Any other comments or questions? There we go. Such a thorough process, and we all agree with you, Kirsten. And again, I would like to give a big shout out to Helen as well for all the work that she did, absolutely coming along and answering all of our questions, not just, as you say, this term, but previous terms as well. But congratulations to all the planning team and everyone associated with getting this far, and it's your dedication and commitment to this, and as you say, extend that to our Blackwater residents as well. And we're very, very excited to be moving through this final process to get the big tick to actually bring Blackwater back into the Central Highlands Regional Council planning scheme. So thank you very much. I think that we've had a mover and seconder, so all those in favour? Motion carried, so thank you very much. Thank you. Well done. Congratulations. Moving on now to item 12.2.1, Christmas closure 2026-27. So can I have a mover, please? Councillor Donaldson, seconder Councillor Burns. Now I'd like to introduce Cassie Holger, Acting Coordinator, Customer Service, to take us through this report. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Good morning, councillors. Central Highlands Regional Council has traditionally closed council administration buildings and libraries over the Christmas and New Year period and has done so for many years. In 2026, there are 3 business days between Christmas statutory holiday 25 December and the New Year statutory holiday Friday 1 January, as well as 1 business day for our libraries on the 2nd of January. Customer requests and contact with council tends to significantly decrease during this period of time based on our prior year's experience. And if council takes the approach of closing between 12 p.m. Thursday 24 December and up to including Saturday 2nd of January 2027, staff will have the opportunity to take business days as leave, utilising accrued annual leave entitlements. The proposed close down period has been discussed with senior management at the Capricornian Bank, and they have confirmed they have no objections to the recommended closure dates. I now hand back to the Chair for council consideration.
Very good. Thank you very much, Cassie. And handing over now to Councillor Donaldson for any comments.
I've really got no comments, really, except to say this is pretty normal procedure. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Councillors, any other comments or questions? Cassie? No. Councillor Donaldson, back to you.
No further comment, thank you.
Very good. Thank you very much. I think that sounds like it's pretty straightforward, and thank you for planning ahead. It's hard to think already. It feels like the year just began, and now we're looking at Christmas closure time. But thank you very much. So, councillors, all those in favour? Motion carried. Thank you very much. Thank you, councillors. Moving on now to item 12.2.2, monthly financial report, June 2026. Councillors, can I have a mover, please? Oh, yeah, I can move it if we're, and a seconder, Councillor Wilkins. Thank you, and handing over now to our Manager of Finance, Helen Kirby. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Through the Chair, and good morning, councillors. Today's report presents Council's draft financial results for the financial year ended 30th of June 2026. It is important to note that these results remain subject to final year-end processes, which include account reconciliations, revenue and expenditure accruals and provisions, and further asset-related adjustments. While this work is still underway, the results in the tabled report still provide a strong indication of Council's financial performance and position for last financial year. Council's interim operating surplus is currently $20.8 million, which is approximately $11.7 million ahead of the Budget Review 3 forecast at this stage of the year-end process. This result has been driven by higher than budgeted grant revenue from the brought forward financial assistance grant payment, together with ongoing efforts to manage costs across the organisation. Based on expenditure recorded to date, the Budget Review 3 capital budget is almost 95% spent. With some further year-end accruals still to be processed, this reflects a strong level of delivery against the revised capital program. Council's cash balance at the 30th of June is approximately $130.8 million, with total borrowings at $19.5 million, representing a reduction in debt of $26 million since the start of the financial year. This places Council in a very strong net cash position, which provides greater financial flexibility and significantly reduces future interest and debt principal repayments. Council reports against 9 financial sustainability measures required under the local government regulation. Based on the interim results, 8 of the 9 measures are expected to meet or exceed their targets once the year-end position is finalised. The only measure expected to not meet target is the asset sustainability ratio. Councillors have been advised during the year of this failure to meet the target. However, it only reflects the fact that the capital program has been more heavily focused on new and upgraded infrastructure projects rather than on asset renewal works. Total rates and water arrears at year-end were $10 million, comprising $6.9 million in rates and $3.1 million in water charges. Arrears reduced by approximately $1.4 million during June, demonstrating the effectiveness of Council's ongoing debt recovery and collection activities during the year. In closing, the draft results indicate that Council is expected to finish the 2025-26 financial year in a good financial position, with a strong operating result, significant debt reduction and solid cash balances. The recommendation, therefore, is that Council adopts the interim financial report for the year ended 30th of June 2026. I'll hand back to the Chair and take any questions. Thank you.
Good. Thank you very much. I'll open to the councillors if they've got any comments, and then I'll reserve my right for closing comments. Thank you. Councillors, any comments? Councillor Wilkins.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Thank you, Helen. I think it's been a really good year again, and I just love seeing that debt being paid down, and to be nicely surprised there's a bigger surplus as well. Thank you. It's great.
Good. Thank you very much. Councillors? Very good. Thank you very much. Another comprehensive report, Helen, and also on the back of what you were saying there too about the amount of cash that we still have in the bank, that 1.3 130.7 or 0.8 million dollars in the bank. Thank you for adding in how that money is distributed through different facilities, financial facilities, and particularly where council have money in Westpac, National, Australia Bank. Also, as we heard before about the Capricornia Credit Union or Bank, that we have deposits for the Capella and Springsure, make sure that we're supporting smaller communities that they have their banks still operating. Again, to add that and to clarify, on page 542 of the agenda, the table that's there with interest revenue received from total investments from financial year 2018 to June 2026. Just to clarify that is demonstrating the amount of money that's coming in from the money that's deposited in our cash at bank?
So just through the chair, that's correct. So that's the amount we've earned through interest on our cash balances across our different accounts, predominantly in Queensland Treasury Corporation. But you can see in 21, 22, interest revenue was very low, but that just reflects the very low cash rate at that time. So since then, the cash rate's increased significantly.
Yeah, thank you very much. And just noted the cash rates, and I suppose having paid down that bit of debt as well, has increased the amount of interest revenue that council is receiving with the extra money in the bank as well. No, that's
well, that's correct. If our cash balances are higher and the interest rate is at the same level, we will actually increase our interest revenue earnings. That's correct.
awesome.
Yes.
Thank you very much. And great to see that, as Councillor Wilkins noted, that our total borrowings have now been, as predicted, paid off for this financial year, bringing that below the $20 million mark. So thank you for that. And I noted that you have that explanation about the asset sustainability ratio being below target. As you noted, that's really, with mainly due to that higher proportion of new and upgraded projects funding, really, and that's because of the external funding mainly that we've had, and doing that capital works on new and upgrades. So just wanted to clarify that is the situation.
That's correct. So we did receive a lot of external funding, to apply to new assets. So that's reflective of that asset sustainability ratio being low.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Just to make sure that we have got a legitimate reason for that. And I think finally, I just wanted to say thank you again for including the distribution of, government or other, and local spend and external spend. And it's good to see at the end of June, while I'm sure that these figures have to still be finalised. It's good to see that our local spend over the year pretty well has sat around that 41%. So thank you for that. We always like to know that council, where possible, is supporting local businesses as well. Thank you very much. So now we have a mover and seconder. So all those in favour of receiving the report? Thank you. Motion carried. Thank you very much. Okay, moving on now to item number 12.2.3, unconfirmed minutes, audit and risk committee meeting, 5th of June 2026. Can I have a mover, please? Councillor Wilkins, can I have a seconder? Councillor Newman, thank you very much. Handing over now to Manager Governance, Christopher Bullock, to take us through this report. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. So the purpose of this report is to present the unconfirmed minutes of the Audit and Risk Committee, which was held on the 5th of June 2026, pursuant to Section 211(1)(c) of the Local Government Regulation. So the Audit and Risk Committee is established as required under Section 105 of the Local Government Act. Subsequently, after any meeting, we have to bring those minutes to the Council as soon as practicable. It was a very successful meeting. I'll just draw your attention to a few things that we discussed. So the Audit and Risk Committee noted we'd made good progress on our internal audit dashboard. We've actually closed off a total of 11 items since the last meeting, which was quite significant, and we're on track to close off some more before the next one. On top of that, we had some meaningful discussion on our risk management framework. They noted some good progress there as well and also gave us some good feedback. And additionally, we went over the QAO's 2025 report to Parliament on local government, which we actually noted that all of those items have been implemented by CHRC. So that's another successful thing. The officer recommendation on this item is that Central Highlands Regional Council receives the unconfirmed minutes of the Audit and Risk Committee held on 5 June and endorses the recommendations contained within those minutes.
Thank you very much. Over to our mover, Councillor Wilkins.
Thank you, Chris. I think that's a good summary, and as always, it's great to have external audit committee monitoring how things are going, but also internal auditing as well, so that it's just good governance. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Councillors, any other comments or questions? Just before we hand back over to you, congratulations on closing out another 11 items. That's fantastic. And also, thank you for that summary. It was a great meeting, especially, discussing the risk framework as well. And I did have a couple here. We were talking also about our gravel inventory recognition, which was interesting for me to learn about how we quantify the amount of the value of our stocks of gravel as well. So that was interesting to learn about. And when we were talking also around our business continuity framework, actually considering the fuel disruption and the response and how that was being considered by council as well. So thank you very much. It was an excellent meeting. So over to Councillor Wilkins to close out.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. No further comment. Thank you.
Very good. Councillors, we have a mover and seconder, so all those in favour? Motion carried. Thank you very much. So you don't, I see you don't have to move from the seat there. Thank you, Chris. Moving on now to item 12.2.4, Operational Plan 2025-26, Quarter 4 Performance Report. Can I have a mover, please? Councillor Newman, seconder. Councillor Burns, thank you very much. And handing back over to you, Manager of Governance, Christopher Bullock. Thank you.
Thanks, Mayor. This report presents the quarterly progress in relation to the operational plan, and I believe the CEO wanted to speak on this item.
Yes, I think members will find that this is a very positive report. There were 35 activities at the end of the third quarter. 23 of those, or 66%, are complete, and 12, which is 34%, are to be extended. And most of those projects, the items that are in there, are set for completion in Q1 this financial year. So I'd like to hand over to our directors to give us a summary within their respective areas.
Thank you, Mr. CEO, and good morning, councillors. Through the chair, through the final quarter of 25-26, the Operations Directorate delivered strong outcomes across water, utilities, infrastructure, fleet, parks, disaster management and asset management, continuing to improve service reliability, asset performance and community amenity across the Central Highlands. In water utilities, more than 1.65 million kilolitres of treated water was supplied to our communities. Over 516 million litres of sewage was collected and treated, and 451 million litres of that recycled and returned for beneficial use. Key achievements included completion of Stage 3 of the Blackwater effluent pipeline upgrade, improving network capacity and reliability, installation of smart water metering in Capella to enhance leak detection and water security, and commencement of the next stage of the Tieri Capella Drought Relief Pipeline Renewal Program to reduce water losses and further and future maintenance costs on that pipeline. The team also completed the Trade Waste Management Project, which was a key activity in the operational plan, with data collection phase, and achieved a major milestone in the Blackwater Wastewater Treatment Plant SCADA automation project. In infrastructure, the team delivered a strategic program of stabilised floodways on gravel roads across the region, improving resilience during wet weather events and reducing failure rates across the network. The gravel pit strategy was completed to support more efficient road maintenance and long-term material supply planning, while asset management improvements initiatives continue to progress. That gravel pit strategy will be further implemented across this year in quarter 1. In the strategic program delivery and asset management section of council, we were successful in securing significant external funding opportunities and continuing to improve council's asset management maturity. So during the year, more than $5.1 million in grants funding were secured across multiple programs. The team also completed the revaluation of the sewerage assets, progressed council's asset management and valuation framework, and successfully transferred data from the ascetic cloud to the new ascetic cloud environment, strengthening council's data quality and long-term asset decision making. Fleet workshops and depot operations continue to support frontline services, delivering with 25 new assets delivered, including heavy plant, street sweepers, loaders, trucks and light vehicles, while 35 surplus assets were disposed to optimise council's fleet efficiently. The team completed more than 900 work orders, 53 scheduled services, 33 annual inspections, and managed over 2,850 heavy vehicle access permits across our road network. Importantly, the draft fleet management plan, which was a key objective of the operational plan, is now substantially complete and ready for implementation in quarter 1 of the new financial year. Across parks and open spaces, crews completed extensive seasonal maintenance, gardening, bed preparation, successful planting and strategic tree pruning across the region. Community consultation on the cemetery strategy was undertaken in multiple communities, while the installation of a new ergonomic RV dump point in Duringa improved safety for visitors and an improved experience. The team also successfully resolved the majority of the more than 300 customer requests during the quarter. Overall, these achievements demonstrate Council's continued focus on delivering reliable services, strengthening critical infrastructure, improving operational efficiencies, and investing in the assets that support the long-term need of our communities. I'll hand over to the Director of Communities. Sorry, my blank.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Director of Operations. Through the Chair, good morning, councillors. Quarter 4 marked a strong finish to the 25-26 financial year for the Communities Directorate, with the completion of Council's surplus vacant land project Stage 1. This stage saw that 45 surplus properties were sold, increasing the availability of residential land across the Central Highlands, while reducing Council's ongoing maintenance obligations. Significant progress was also achieved across Council's Facilities and Recreations team, noting a couple of projects as the completed works at the Blackwater Hunter Street Sports Ground and the externally funded major entertainment venues upgrade progressing to tender following the completion of the detailed design and which will be delivered in 26-27. Planning and Land Management team also remained steady throughout this quarter, with 42 development applications received, 22 determined, and further 214 customer requests managed. The planning team continued the strategic planning work on the planning scheme review and also the Blackwater Priority Development Areas revocation process, all of which continue through this financial year. The Ranger team undertook an animal registration audit across the region, helping ensure animal records maintain current, supporting the responsible pet ownership program of Council. Additionally, the Reef Guardian funding for the feral pig program was also acquitted. Community services provided by the Directorate continued to be well utilised, with over 26,000 library visits, 1,156 participants in the First 5 Forever programs for this quarter, 16 youth activities and 6 gallery exhibitions supported and hosted. Council's business activities were also delivered strong results, with the Emerald Airport welcoming approximately 56,000 passengers during the quarter and completed the aeromedical apron extension project, strengthening Council's aviation within the region as well as the emergency services capability. Emerald Sale Yards processed more than 23,000 head of cattle, while continuing to improve governance, safety and biosecurity measures. Resource Recovery Services managed 9,000 tonnes of waste, recovered more than 220 tonnes of recyclables and processed several improvement initiatives across landfill, transfer station and recycling operations. While several significant projects reached completion during this year, a number of projects from the 25-26 year are continuing into 26-27 across planning, housing, community facilities, resource recovery, airport sale yards and community services. Overall, the 25-26 financial year has been a productive year for the Communities Directorate, delivering major infrastructure projects, increasing housing opportunities, progressing planning and land management initiatives, and strengthening the community facilities, programs and regional services that support our communities. I now hand over to the Director of Corporate Services, Rhys Dennison.
Thank you very much, Director of Communities. Good morning, councillors. Through the Chair. Councillors, sometimes I think to myself, it's a good indication that our corporate services teams are performing well when they're not drawing too much attention to themselves. But that's why I enjoy these quarterly updates so much, councillors. I love drawing attention to how much corporate services support our teams who support our community. So, for example, our procurement and legal team this quarter finished delivering an entire contract management framework. Now, that's not a project that generates headlines, councillors, but good contract management means better value for money and better outcomes for our communities. And they achieved all of this on top of those impressive end-of-year figures that you'll see at page 615 of your agendas. Talking about impressive figures, councillors, the finance team, who worked closely with councillors and management to deliver a very impressive 26-27 budget last quarter. Now, I'm not sure that there's a league table for the best local government budgets, but if there was, I'm confident we'd be playing in the final series this year, councillors. Now, as part of that process, the finance team completed, of course, very important work reviewing water, sewerage and waste charges to support the sustainable delivery of those services into the future. And maintaining that future focus now, the ICT team, who continue to advance and modernise the way that we work to improve the service delivery that we provide to our community. So Council's digital strategy, Council's cybersecurity master plan were all delivered this year thanks to the ICT team. And I've said it before, but the great work that our ICT team continues to do in the cybersecurity space to ensure continuity of essential services to our community may sometimes go unnoticed, but it's certainly never unappreciated. Much like the safety team, so safety continues to be of paramount importance, as is the support that our safety team provides to our people. And the positive trends this quarter, which you'll see on page 621 of the agendas, are encouraging, with those workplace injury rates reducing by around 8% and some other important indicators improving also. Those results don't happen by accident, councillors. They reflect a lot of consistent work by leaders, supervisors, employees across the organisation, and of course, the safety team. Also performing consistently good work this quarter, the governance team, councillors. Now, whilst they might be here in the spotlight for some exciting agenda items at today's meeting, often they are operating closer to the shadows on projects that some may find less than exciting. I'm certainly not one of those. This year, they've delivered business continuity frameworks, critical instrument processes, records disposal projects, a lot of great work to support our teams remaining resilient, responsive, and able to continue delivering essential services to our communities. Now, when I mention responsiveness there, would be remiss of me to not mention the communications and customer service team. Now, if anyone ever doubts how much contact Council has with its communities, then the communications and customer service stats this quarter certainly tell a story. So more than 11,600 emails answered, 5,600 phone calls, 159 social media posts, and 57 media releases and public notices. That's on top of course, several in-person community consultations at Juringa, Gindi, and of course here in Blackwater. That's a lot of conversations with our community every day, thanks to our customer service and communications team. Last, but I like to think certainly not least, the HR team. HR continues to lead important strategic work around workforce planning, attraction and retention, and the results are really starting to speak for themselves. So voluntary turnover in this organisation has reduced from 26% in the 24-25 financial year to 15% at the end of the 25-26 financial year. That's now well below the rates for many comparable resource councils. And our total recruitment has increased from 161 appointments in 24-25 to 182 appointments in 25-26. And of those 182 appointments, 143 of those people are new to our organisation, which is up from only 103 the previous year. So if we continue that positive trend of more people choosing to stay and more talent joining, that can only mean good news for our teams and good news for our communities. And in that vein, councillors, you can expect corporate services to continue to support our teams who support our communities as we embark on the new financial year. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. Congratulations. Did you want to say anything? No. We hand over now to Councillor Newman. Thank you very much, team.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Some remarkable efforts there. The changes between quarter 3 and the strong finish in quarter 4 to bring it up to 66% was quite outstanding, with only 7 of those projects that of the 12 being going to be completed by quarter 1 of the next financial year. So I acknowledge the reference to the league team. I think our finance team certainly showed their colours in the finance report. All frontline services in communities,
operations and in the corporate services have been outstanding. There's some remarkable stats right across those three areas. And I would like to congratulate all the staff for completing such a strong finish in this year's, in the last financial year's corporate plan.
Thank you, Councillor. Councillors, any other comments or questions? Oh, Councillor Cruz.
Through the chair, I just wanted to say it was terrific to see the continuation of all the good work that this council does for the community, so thank you. But nothing can be achieved without our valued staff. So the stat that really stood out for me was the voluntary turnover, going from 24-25, 25.98% down to 15.3%. So thank you for those who have chosen to work for CHRC. Thank you to those who have chosen to stay. But more importantly, thank you for our entire leadership over the last 12 months who have obviously created a working environment where people want to thrive and stay. So much appreciated. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you very much, Councillor. Councillor Wilkins.
Thank you. Yeah, I want to jump on the bandwagon and congratulate everyone here. Just a couple of questions. So with the Capella smart meters, I thought they were already in.
Thank you, Councillor. So the project for the right financial year 25-26 was the installation of network meters. So the smart meters that were done in the previous year were the meters at individual properties.
Mm-hmm.
The 25-26 project was meters along our network. So at strategic locations along the network, which allows council to monitor potentially leaks
Mm-hmm.
in the network,
Mm-hmm.
not inside the property. So,
Mm-hmm.
so it basically, in simple terms, we have a meter that as it leaves the water treatment plant, and then key locations across the community,
Mm-hmm.
and we can see measure where the water may not be, where the sums may not be adding up, and then we can address those leaks in the network.
Okay, cool. So just to clarify, so I guess what I was referring to is different to what you're talking about. So the Capella households already have the smart meters. So this was just more the networking meters.
Correct.
Fantastic. Thank you. I just love that the surplus vehicles were disposed of in the fleet. I think that's really important to minimise or to increase efficiencies, minimise waste and things like that too. I would like to congratulate the parks team and natural spaces, whatever. Driving into the towns, I feel that places are looking more maintained and more loved. And as Councillor Whiteman has said on many occasions, you know, when it looks loved, then the community naturally follow suit. And I'd also like to congratulate the team doing the footbridge at the Emerald Botanical Gardens. I just watching how it's, I think I saw the aerial footage from the posting on the website. It looks fantastic. It looks really good. And with the communities, it's great to hear that all those properties that were sold, so that council no longer have the burden of them as well. And it was great hearing how much the libraries are being used. I think they're such an important part of the community that it's great to hear that so much of it is, so many people visit them. And also fantastic to hear the aeromedical hub has been completed as well. Is there an official opening sometime at all?
So through the chair, just for clarification, we've had the external funding, and which was the council's contribution to that project, which is the $6 million. That was the aeronautical apron works, so the tarmac works, that has been completed. Rotary are commencing, along with RFDS, the construction of the drive-through facility to house the aircraft as they load and unload. Mm-hmm. That part of that project is being completed in this quarter and throughout this calendar year. Mm-hmm. And we're working with the funding bodies to finalise a date sometime in 2027 where there can be an official opening as such of the facility. but the facility should be operational before the official opening. It's just more the completion of that final project and sign off.
Fantastic, thank you. And then with the corporate, corporations, yeah, the cybersecurity team are just, from what we've been told in the past, are just awesome. So thank you for that. And just with the voluntary turnover, I have a question for you. So 15% of what? Does that mean 85% are involuntary?
No, sorry, councillor. So through the chair, so 15% of our total staff. So assume we have, let's say we had 400 staff, then 15% of those people in a particular year have voluntarily chosen to leave, whereas 85% either remain, or a small portion of them might be involuntarily turned over.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you.
Good. Thank you very much. Thank you. Great discussion. Councillors, any other questions or comments? No? Very good. I'd just like to say congratulations again to all the team. Thank you very much to our directors for giving us such a wonderful wrap up. And I did notice the pride on your faces as you quite rightly, as the acting CEO presented the report of a positive outcomes for this quarter and indeed the year. So thank you very much, and concur with Councillor Cruz as well that our staff are the most important element and part of our organisation. As councillors, obviously, we at that board level can make decisions, but it's really up to our staff who work extremely hard, are very, very dedicated and are committed to making sure that our communities are serviced and the livability of all communities across our region is advancing to such a high level. So thank you very much to all of our staff and for a great outcomes report for this operational report. And handing back over to Councillor Newman for the final closing remarks.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Yes, I'll just reiterate what every other councillor is feeling, that the staff are doing the heavy lifting with this operational plan and they're doing a wonderful job.
Thank you. Okay, we have a mover and a seconder. So all those in favour? Motion carried. Thank you very much. And thank you very much. Moving on to item 12.2.5, Standing Orders and Meeting Procedure Policy Review. And again, if we have a mover and seconder, please. Oh, I'm happy to move. And a seconder, Councillor Wilkins. Thank you. And handing over again to our Manager of Governance, Christopher Bullock. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. So this report presents the updated Central Highland Regional Council's Standing Orders and Meeting Procedures Policy for adoption following legislative reforms introduced by the Local Government and Parent Councils and Other Legislation Amendment Act. So as you're aware, that piece of legislation passed in March this year. It's quite a few of the sections took place on assent, but there was also some that were due to take place by proclamation. So those ones that were set to take effect from proclamation actually took effect on the 1st of July, earlier this month. Subsequent to that, we received model standing orders from the Department of Local Government. So they've updated their model procedures, which we are required by legislation, obviously, to mirror. So this report is just presenting that and the work that we've done to implement those changes into our standing policy. I'll just give you a very brief overview of some of the changes that have resulted of that. So the removal of conduct breach provisions. So conduct breaches have now been removed from the legislation. So obviously we've had to remove those from the policy. The chairperson role has been aligned with the legislative amendments. On top of that, they've also put in place an order of succession, which we've implemented. There's been updated procedures in relation to conflicts of interest. So the declarable and prescribed conflicts of interest are now gone, and they've been replaced with material and conflicts of interest, which we've updated in the policy. There's an updated procedure for dealing with unsuitable meeting conduct, which we've also reflected. An updated procedure on loss of quorum, which obviously flows on from potential changes to conflicts of interest. It's a bit of a more simplified process, which has been reflected in the policy. And lastly, they've updated the Council Code of Conduct, which is an appendix to our policy. So we've updated that provision as well.
Awesome. Very good. Thank you very much, Christopher. And seeing that I moved, I get to speak to that. So thank you very much for comprehensively going through our standing orders. It's always good practice to make sure that where there's any legislative changes or that we make sure that we're upgrading our policies to ensure they reflect any new legislative requirements. And I think that every councillor across Queensland are very happy to see some of the changes brought about through the Local Government Empowering Councillors and Other Legislation Amendment Act 2026, especially the removal of conduct breach provisions. I think that we're very pleased that the state government have made sure that they've been improving, I guess, the conditions to which councillors are working and trying to do their very best to do the best for their communities and work together. But thank you very much for your comprehensive changes and review to the policy. Councillors, any other comments or questions? Councillor Wilkins.
Thank you. I guess just to clarify, even though there's the removal of conduct breach provisions, so it doesn't mean that we can continue misbehaving. Just to clarify that, just going over Schedule 1 on page 630, the standing orders and meeting procedures policy should be read in conjunction with the Councillor Code of Conduct. So that we still are under a code of conduct, and it's just nice to have a little bit of breathing space, though, to, for a little, no, I don't mean misdemeanors or misconduct or anything like that, but just genuine, honest mistakes can not necessarily overlooked, but just be managed a bit more gently, I guess. So I think this is a great change. Thank you.
I know we've broadened our conversation beyond the policy there, but thank you very much. Thank you, Councillor. Any other comments or questions, councillors? In closing, I don't have anything else to add, so all those in favour? Motion carried. Thank you very much. Okay, thank you very much. Moving on now to item 12.3.1, Total Asset Management Plan 2025-26 to 2034-35. Can I have a mover, please? I'm happy to move. Can I have a seconder, please? Did I see you? Seconder, Councillor Follott. Thank you very much. And we can hand over now to our Director Operations, Jason Houlihan, to take us through this report. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Through the Chair, under Section 1045A2 of the Local Government Act 2009, Queensland local governments are required to have a system of financial management that includes a long-term asset management plan. Section 167 and 168 of the Local Government Regulations 2012 state that this plan must be for a 10-year period or more and provide for strategies to ensure the sustainable management of assets, state the estimated capital expenditure for renewal, upgrades and extension of assets, and be part of and consistent with the long-term financial forecast of Council. Consistent with these requirements, the Total Asset Management Plan, or TAMP, for a 10-year period from 25-26 through to 34-35 is presented for endorsement today. This TAMP provides the update of the plan for the period of 2023-24 to 2032-33 as endorsed by Council at a General Council meeting on the 13th of December 2023. Based on the asset data available, the report indicates June 2025 Council's present funding levels are not sufficient to continue to provide existing services at current levels unless the forecast expenditure is smoothed across a 10-year period. Levelling the renewal requirements across the TAMP timeframes ensures that current funding remain sufficient for the medium term. This has been included in the long-term financial plan. The outcome forecast in the TAMPs are based on historic costs and adopted budget that have been indexed in line with the long-term financial plan as adopted by Council. The accuracy of the forecast up to the 10 years in the future is dependent on the accuracy and completeness of the asset data used to inform the outcome. In Table 1 of the report, asset data confidence has been ranked from A, which is highly reliable, where the data is considered to be accurate, to plus or minus 2%, right through to E, where there is little or no data available. The TAMP that's presented today is based on data considered to have a confidence grade of B, which is reliable, and the data is as complete and accurate to plus or minus 10%. This is an improvement in the confidence of the data, graded from a C, which was uncertain in the previous TAMP. Asset data confidence levels and the value of individual asset management plans within the TAMP will continue to improve as the tasks and actions detailed in Council's Asset Management Planning Improvement Progress, which is part of our operational plan, continue. An update on the progress of this plan was also included in today's operational plan update. The report, the recommendation is that Central Highlands Regional Council endorse the Total Asset Management Plan 25-26 to 2034-35 as detailed in Attachment 1, and 2, notes the outcome as presented in the Asset Management Planning Improvement Plan Quarter 4 of 25-26 report. Thank you.
Good. Thank you. Thank you very much, Jason. Greatly appreciate that summary. And just wanted to say congratulations, really, because there's a lot of work goes into making sure that our assets are not just managed, they're planned for and costed over a 10-year period on an ongoing basis. So, and I think the other thing to say congratulations to is about achieving the grade B of reliable as well. So I think for people to, I often hear us speak about our long-term asset management plan, but I didn't realise that we actually have 14 asset management plans, one against each of our asset categories. And then they make the total asset management plan. So thank you very much. That's something I did learn out of reading the report today. The other thing I think that is important for people to know as well when we're talking about our total asset management plans, or TAMPs, and our asset management plans, that these are here to help make sure that we're making good decisions about our managing assets for the organisation over a long longer period, but also, most importantly, that they are reviewed by external bodies, including the Queensland Audit Office and the Queensland Treasury Corporation, to make sure that that is then aligning with our long-term or our 10-year financial planning as well. And it's also, just remind you, I think, forgive me if I get this wrong, but council has a total of, I think it's $1.8 billion worth of assets.
Yeah, through the chair, roughly 2.8.
Roughly $2.8 billion worth of assets. And then we start to look at, over time, how much we're planning to ensure that, the replacement and the expenditure against those assets over time, when you continue to be talking in the billions of dollars. So congratulations and thank you for achieving that grade B reliable outcomes. So, councillors, if you have any other questions or comments. Councillor Newman.
Through the chair, I think it's great to see such a comprehensive report, and it's a huge body of work across the entire organisation. The improvement plan is one I find exciting, and the links towards our long-term financial planning. So I think we're well on track with a good steer from the organisation. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Councillor Wilkins.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Just a little question. It's not too taxing. So just for clarification, so obviously the previous one wasn't done 10 years ago. So is it just when you have, the data isn't matching the long-term financial plan of the previous TAMP that you sort of do a new one, or is it done every couple of years routinely, or?
Yeah, through the chair. It's good practice to do it quite regularly. Council also undertakes annually a re-evaluation of an asset class. So in 25-26, we did a re-evaluation of our water and sewage network. So that information is then fed into the updated report. So when there's a major asset class that's been updated in terms of re-evaluation, then the plan is updated. So it's been about 2 or 3 years since the last one. Is obviously in December 2023, the last report was done. It is a significant amount of work. We do like to try and, as I said, it's good practice to keep them done regularly.
Thank you.
If I can just add to that as well, changes in the economic environment as well play a big part. So the cost of replacement of an asset, if we use fleet as an example, a piece of fleet that we buy, potentially bought or purchased 5 years ago, the replacement cost of that today would be much higher. So those type of increases would need to be included in any updates of the plan.
Thank you. And I noted too there on page 722 of the agenda, when talking about the flood mitigation asset grouping as well, that would have to be reviewed on a regular basis as well. Councillor Cruz.
Through the chair, mine's just probably more of a comment that this is probably one of the most important sets of documents that we actually have in the organisation, because it is a very, very easy thing it's the easiest thing to buy, build and cut ribbons, but the hardest is paying for the whole of life costs. So these plans are about ensuring that we are not sort of lumping future councils and future ratepayers with a financial burden and assets that they just simply can't pay for. So having these up to date and accurate is absolutely essential. So thank you.
Absolutely, thank you. No other comments or questions, councillors? Good. Thank you very much. I guess in closing, just to concur with the other councillors, comments, definitely without proper planning of particularly being able to break it down over time with our asset categories and having those long-term plans going forward means that we're doing our due diligence and prudent planning to ensure that we have financial sustainability over the long term, because assets are obviously, if we're not managing those costs, then we can easily, as a council, get into a financial trouble, I guess. Thank you. Okay, we have a mover and second, councillors. So all those in favour? Motion carried. Thank you very much. Moving on now to item 12.4.1, Local Government Association of Queensland, call for motions. So can I have a mover, please, and a seconder? Councillor Newman and Councillor Whiteman. So Councillor Newman as a mover, Councillor Whiteman as a seconder, and handing over now to our acting CEO, Graham Kanofsky, to lead us through this report. Thank you, Graham.
Okay, each year prior to the LGAQ conference, they call for each council to put up motions for consideration. If those motions are passed at the LGAQ conference, LGAQ is then bound by them. So it's a very important process, and this year we're proposing 5 motions across a number of subjects, including regional waste transportation, recycling targets and a levy, road safety, abandoned vehicles. And one other is a big ticket item for this council, and that's fairer funding for mining regions. As we know, the state government collects significant revenue from royalties in mining areas. And this council thinks it's only fair that some of those royalties get returned to the region that's generating them to help mitigate the costs associated with hosting those industries. So 5 resolutions across a broad range of subjects.
Thank you very much. Handing over now to Councillor Newman as a mover.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I am in support of all these motions, except I would like to make a one-word change to motion 4, road safety, page 837, under dot point number 2. So I would like dot point number 2 to read, work with the National Heavy Vehicle Regulator to introduce voluntary vehicle length signage on vehicles greater than 36.5 metres in length, and enact a public education program to support the road safety around heavy vehicles and awareness of combination lengths.
Okay. Thank you.
So you're proposing a one-word change?
Just a one-word change to that dot point 2 in motion 4.
Yep. With the inclusion of the word voluntary.
The inclusion of the word voluntary, so that it is a...
If the meeting accepts that, otherwise it needs to be an amendment.
Okay. Does the meeting accept that change?
Not usually very minor amendments like that usually are accepted by the mayor asking the councillors, are they happy with the inclusion of that one word, rather than go through the formal process. If you wish to go through the formal process, you can, but the other is just as legitimate.
Through the mayor, so I just wasn't sure if it had been moved and seconded, I wasn't sure whether there was that issue or not.
Yeah, no, it would have to be, Madam Mayor, with the consent of the room that you allow that to happen.
Thank you. So do I ask the councillors now?
Just an indication, yeah.
An indication, sorry. Councillors, if you support the inclusion of the extra word voluntary? Yep. I'm happy to. No, it looks like anyway, it's an indication. So we'll listen to the councillors that want to have a comment first. Is that appropriate? Yeah.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yes. No.
No.
That's right.
Yep. Yep. Councillor Phillip?
Okay, through the chair. So a over 36.5 metre road train already is a type 1, so we already have to have signs saying that we're a road train anyway, so they're not voluntary. They're actually regulated by the NHVR, so they're stipulated on those vehicles.
Thank you. Councillor Donaldson?
My comment's sort of the same. Having owned trucks, I think it's just putting a lot of imposts on the trucks. The trucks aren't the problem, it's the ill education of it's aimed at the caravans and caravan accidents. These signs they're putting on these trucks don't come cheap. I can tell you that now, and you have to more or less replace them every 3 or 4 years. Having another sign on the back of a sign saying it's 36.5 metres long, I think we're sort of barking up the wrong tree. I think the education towards the drivers of the cars are more than the problem the drivers of the trucks. No, I think it's just another impost on the trucks, to be truthfully. The voluntary, we have to be very careful with regulations, because these regulations, all of a sudden, they start off small, all of a sudden they turn into a mountain, and it's just another cost to the truck owners and that sort of thing. So the amendment voluntary, as it stands, I don't agree with the motion for it all. Section 2, voluntary, that would help to sway me, but there may be some other way of doing it. All the other amendments, I think they're very good, but just that, I think it's just another impost on the trucking industry, which they don't need. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Burns?
Yeah, thank you, Madam Mayor. I'd probably support outlawing caravanners before this one. And that's a personal choice, obviously. I'd get rid of number 2 completely. I don't support any more regulation. I think we're over-regulated. There's point 2 on this, what we're talking about, the issue. I think we're way over-regulated as it is. I don't think more signage is going to help those who don't understand how to overtake. So, if we move an amendment later, but I'll wait for everyone to finish talking.
So, okay, thank you very much. Sorry, just for clarification, you would like the withdrawal of motion number 4. You don't want. So
two.
part 2 of that motion. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, thank you. Point of order. Councillor.
We are open at the moment for any of the councillors we've already had 3 councillors speak or 4 councillors speak on this. We're open to any councillor calling for a vote. No amendment has been made. At the moment, we would be voting on the entire thing as it currently stands.
That's correct.
Just.
Yep. Thank you. That's correct. And just clarifying what the views are of the different councillors as well. Thank you, councillor.
In that case, I would suggest that we move to an amendment so that we can speak to the amendment specifically.
Yep.
Otherwise, like I say, we could get pushed into a situation where no amendment is available. So, because we've already got it's already been moved and seconded, and we're down to only a couple of councillors in the room who haven't spoken. So.
Thank you. So I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do now.
I would suggest that Councillor Cruz is going to move
I didn't want to put you in that situation, but
through you, Madam Mayor,
thank you.
can I propose that we have an amendment to it's the fourth motion with the complete removal of number 2 of the fourth motion, please.
Okay. Okay. A mover of the amendment, Councillor Cruz, to take out point 2 of motion number 4. Seconder?
No, we don't need a seconder.
Oh, you don't need a seconder. Okay.
Can I say something? No, you don't need a seconder. But can I comment on, so the second part of that number 2 talks about enacting a public education program to support road safety around heavy vehicles and awareness of combination lengths. Mm-hmm. Is it possible just to get, if you want to get rid of something, just the first half of that sentence and leave the enact a public education program? Because I think that's pretty important.
Councillor Burns?
Yeah, I think just getting a licence should be enough of a public safety process. So, no, I don't support any of that number 2.
Okay. Right. Can you help? Where are we up to?
So where I think we're at is we've currently got an amendment being moved by Councillor Cruz. There was a suggestion that you might want to modify that slightly. Is it still the case that on the screen there that reflects the amendment that you're moving, that we remove item 4.2 completely, or are we modifying that slightly?
If I may, through the chair, I agree and take on board Councillor Wilkins' point. So the public education component of that should probably stay and does form, in my view, an important part and probably a happy medium between the two.
Awesome.
Thank you. To keep this clean, if we want to vote that down, I'll then raise a second amendment for that if you want. Or are we allowed to just amend, because it's already been an amendment that's been raised and then, yeah.
The amendment I'd suggest now is that Councillor Cruz is moving that item 4.2 be modified to remove certain wording, and then we'll just have to let the minutes secretary know what wording is being removed so that we can then get a seconder and we can discuss that.
So through the chair, my amendment would be removing work with the National Heavy Vehicle Regulator to introduce vehicle length signage on vehicles greater than 36.5 metres in length, and that would be removed, and we would leave enact a public education program to support road safety around heavy vehicles and awareness of combination lengths.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, can we have a seconder, please? Councillor Whiteman. So we're just adopting the amendment now?
So we have a mover and a seconder for the amendment, so we can open debate on that amendment now.
Okay, we can open debate on that amendment now. Oh, thought we were in it. Okay, open for questions and comments. Councillor Donaldson.
We finally got there. That's
Woohoo,
okay.
yeah.
Good things come to ones who wait. I'm happy with that, with the public education program, so because that puts the impost back on the government, not the private individual for the private individuals or companies that run the trucks up and down the road. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Burns.
Yeah, thank you, Madam Mayor. This will work. I think they're already doing most of that, other than invest more in the national freight road. Just comment on the whole procedural thing. We've worked our way through it, which is good. I prefer the old way we used to do things. I think when we do review that, or have it in the review in the future, then we'll look at trying to bring back some of the old ways.
Yeah.
Thank you.
In our standing orders.
Yeah.
Thank you, Councillor. Councillor Newman.
Through the chair, I'm happy with that amendment. It's predominantly the education piece that is the primary element for safety. The most important part of that motion is point 1, the investment in the roads themselves. The education program, I think, needs to happen, since Queensland's nearly doubled its population, and we have a lot of tourists from other areas across the state, whereas only Queensland and WA have the majority of the longer vehicles. So I think an education program will be a great first step.
Okay. Councillor Wilkins.
So further to what Councillor Newman was saying, from Councillor Newman having been to the ALGA conference and informing us that, it's largely Queensland and WA who have these long vehicles, but we get a lot of tourists from Victoria and New South Wales, especially around this time of year. So I'm sure it is pretty kind of intimidating. So I think so it should be a national public education program. And I'm in support of keeping that part in too.
Thank you. Councillor Whiteman.
I'm going to have a crack at this, Radio. I move that the question be put.
Okay, good. Okay.
We can on page 16.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so we move to adopt the amendment as outlined by Councillor Cruz, moved by Councillor Cruz. So we had a mover and seconder, so all those in favour of the amendment? Thank you very much. Amendment carried. So coming back now to the original motion, with the amendment included. The original motion was moved by Councillor Newman and seconded by Councillor Whiteman. So coming back to the original motion that councillors move.
Yeah, it's to adopt the, proceed with the 5, with that amendment that has been approved.
Thank you very much. Okay, all those in favour? Awesome. Motion carried. Thank you. That was fun, actually. Thank you. Moving on now to item 12.4.2, Special Holidays, Regional Show Holidays 2027, and handing over, need a mover and seconder. Mover, Councillor Whiteman, seconder, Councillor Wilkins, and handing over now to our Acting Chief Executive Officer, Graham Kanofsky, to take us through this report. Thank you, Graham.
Yeah, just very quickly, hopefully this one gets a better run than the last one. This one This one looks at, we get input from all the show societies, get their dates, and we need to formally adopt those dates as show holidays. There used to be a lot longer process, but it's still advisable to set these as soon as we can.
Fair enough. Thank you very much. Councillor Whiteman.
No, I have nothing to add to this one. It's just the show holidays.
Yep, thank you. Councillors, over to you if you have any comments or questions. Councillor Wilkins.
Yeah, just sort of noticed about that comment, public holiday has not been requested, so do they still get the 2nd of June off though, like if there's any businesses there?
Sorry, it's my understanding they have the Emerald.
They have their shows on the I know they have the show on the weekend, but do, like, their little...
They still get their public holiday on the Emerald Comet Gemfields, isn't it?
They haven't addressed a separate public holiday. They've got the same public holiday as the Emerald Show.
Yeah, correct. Right. So on the Wednesday the 2nd, they'll still get, their businesses can close if they want to.
Correct.
Or the kids get school.
Correct.
Right. Excellent. Sorry, just clarifying. Thank you.
Good. Thank you. Councillors, any other comments or questions about the show days proposed for next year? Nope. All good. No, it's good that it's a good process that we actually plan those so far ahead as well. So thank you. Very good. We have a mover and seconder, so all those in favour? Motion carried. Thank you very much. So moving now on to the other areas of our agenda, which is our decision action reports. There's nil information reports. There are nil information reports closed session. There are nil late agenda items. There are nil. And moving on now to item 17.1, our Bush Council's conference report. Councillor Cruz, our notice of motion. So moving over to yourself now, I've forgotten how to do these ones too. So we move Councillor Cruz moves this report, and seconder, Councillor Donaldson. Okay, over to Councillor Cruz. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I will take the report as read. Probably back in 25, I did bring a notice of motion proposing that councillors who attended conferences report back to a general council meeting just to discuss their learnings, etc. But that motion wasn't supported at the time, but I still believe in bringing a report back to the community. Currently, there's no provision in council standing orders or meeting procedures for councillors to present an information report. So that's why I'm just doing it in this notice of motion mechanism. Just to formally present this report at my attendance of the Bush Council's conference. So open to any questions.
Awesome. Thank you very much. And I thought that councillors can bring reports. But anyway, well, we're going through those standing orders again, so thank you. Maybe I've read it in others, but very good. Thank you so much. Any other questions or comments, councillors? Councillor Wilkins.
Sorry, thank you. It's a very comprehensive report, and I appreciate, despite the coughing. Thank you. There's a few, I guess, typographical errors and grammatical stuff and things like that. But there's one question. I don't know what this sentence even says. So page 855. under lesson learned. And you've got the department acknowledged that decisions made insulation can lead to poor outcomes. I'm not sure what that means, sorry. Under lesson learned, the second sentence.
What page number?
Oh, sorry,
Councillor.
855. You mean insular, or I don't know? Department laws that decisions made.
In isolation.
Oh, in isolation. Okay. Damn autocorrect. But anyway, there's a few other errors around, but I'm not going to point them all out. But I guess if it's going to be a published thing, it needs to be proofread a bit more. That's all.
Okay, thank you. Councillor Donaldson.
Thank you. I'd just like to thank Councillor Cruz for this report. I think it's my personal feelings is I think it's a good idea if you go to a some sort of conference, it'd be good to bring back some sort of report. Probably not as flash as this one because I wouldn't be able to do that, but just to give the public a bit of an idea that we do go outside council and we do go to different conferences in different areas to just give them a bit of an idea what we do get up to at these conferences. Also, in just reading this report of this conference, my personal opinion is I think it's one of the more worthwhile ones that we attend because all the contents of the thing really affects our areas.
That's right.
Some other conferences don't really. They do affect us. If we don't go, it can affect us. But I'm saying that this one really, it's really good. Thank you.
Yep. Thank you very much. Yeah, and as much as possible, obviously, we try and have reports come through our communications as well, you know, where we've been, that sort of thing as well. But to report back to community, there's a few different ways we can do that. So thank you very much. And absolutely, when I did my report back to the councillors and senior managers internally on this conference as well to ensure that everyone was aware of you know, the conference contents and outcomes, I made the comment definitely, it was a great conference because it was for rural and remote councils, and the topics were very pertinent to our council, which was really important. So great point that you make there, Councillor Donaldson. It was a really, really good conference when you have like councils coming together. So we thank the Queensland Local Government Association for actually hosting these type of conferences, and also I know I put it out through my Facebook as well that we also had the Resource Council's conference as well, or forum. And again, that was really important. So we had the councils from the Northwest Minerals Province, Surat Basin and Bowen Basin. So we come together and were able to talk about topics that were very pertinent to our regional councils as well. So it's really important to be able to attend those conferences that are pertinent to industry or livability or location of our councils. Absolutely. Thank you very much. Closing comments. Thank you.
Comments. Thank you. And I guess I just want to reiterate, I think there's value in sharing the information, typographical errors or not. And it's pleasing that this is just another mechanism which we can share information to the community, because I guess I'll be going to the Roads Conference coming up soon, so there'll be another one of these coming in the near future. Thank you.
Very good. So I put the resolution that the Central Highlands Regional Council receives the Councillor Conference Attendance Report submitted by Councillor Rachel Cruz for the Bush Council's conference held from the 26th to the 28th of May 2026. So we have a mover and a seconder. So all those in favour? Motion carried. Thank you very much. Moving on now to item number 18, general business. So, councillors, do you have any general business? Okay, thank you. Moving on now to item number 19, which is community acknowledgements. Councillor Wilkins.
Sort of a, maybe not an acknowledgement, but a statement. So this is the season, our art season, so I encourage everyone community members to go online to the CHRC website and see what's on in your area. There's a lot happening July, August, September in the arts precinct.
Very good. Thank you very much. And I think it's promoted as the Art Attack. So it goes over quite a few weeks and is happening in a lot of our communities across the region. So I think it's the Beats and Bites coming next.
That's one of them, but there's there's different things in the different regions. So and there's the little booklets that should be available in each area too, of what's on in each area. But yeah, if you get onto the CHRC website, all the information is for your region.
Very good. Thank you very much. And I guess I just had one sort of general community acknowledgement. Really, I just wanted to say thank you to the Rotary clubs, the Lions clubs, the CWAs, all of the community groups and clubs across the region that are having their changeover dinners and having their annual general meetings. I just want to say congratulations to all the new incoming executive committees members, and also wishing all of our clubs and community members all the very best over the next 12 months. We thank you, mostly all as volunteers, stepping forward. We thank you as volunteers for the work you do to service our community and improve the livability in our region and what you give back to our community. So thank you all. Very good. And moving on to closing of the meeting. So we don't have to. Okay, so closing the meeting out now at 11.